Okay, so Erica said, looking to learn about marketing to school. Sorry, I muted myself. I was gonna mute you, Heather, if you're able to mute yourself. So Erica said, I'm looking to learn about marketing to school. So Erica, could you tell us more about that situation?
Yes, so my book just came out in January, Creating Consent Culture, and I was workshopping it actually in Honolulu before the pandemic started, and I was getting into universities. Then when we wrote the book, the publisher really wanted us to focus on middle school and high school. And although it's a workshop that's good for anybody age 10 and up, and what it is that we lead young people through fun and interactive exercises that help them build their consent skills. Because consent isn't something you can just learn about and then do it. You need to practice. And and then also in the book, it basically lays it out. So a teacher could read the book and then lead the exercises if they wanted to. So I have a couple of workshops that I offer, and one, I was thinking that the quickest, easiest way for me to get in is to offer the one to teachers on non-instructional days, where I would lead them through the workshop and answer their questions and help them feel more comfortable to do the exercises themselves. Then while I'm there, I can talk to them about how I can come in and do workshops for the students as well. Marketing is my Achilles heel.
So far, until now.
Okay, until now. And so I do have a little easier time marketing to a school, I think, than to an individual.
Sure.
But I was just wondering if you have any tips or know anything about marketing to schools.
Yeah, I do have some thoughts on that. Just two thoughts on the marketing being the Achilles heel. I both want to, sometimes it can be a spell we put ourselves under, but also I give it a big amen, because, I go into this in other videos, but just for everyone's shoulders to drop a bit, you're not supposed to be good at marketing yourself.
Yeah, okay.
You're not. You're supposed to be terrible at it. Nobody's really that good at marketing themselves. What we are good at universally as human beings is marketing other people. We're so good at that.
Yes. Yeah, I love promoting others.
So it's just normal. It's just, if anyone feels like any thought you have that you should be better at marketing yourself, just let it go. It's not true. That has no basis in reality at all. Okay, but specifically on school. So yeah, some people don't know, but actually my very first business I called the School Revolution, and it was me marketing to high schools.
Okay.
I did school spirit, student council stuff. So when I did it, I was marketing to the student council specifically. So, but you may look in the schools, there are going to be certain hubs within the schools. That might be the principal, it might be the guidance counselors, and it might be a peer support team or something like that if they have that kind of thing. So that's one of the first things to just figure out is, and do you have a sense of who in the school would bring you in?
That's what people keep telling me, is to contact the principals and the guidance counselors. Yeah, so probably is the right thing. Yeah.
So there's that, and that just shapes the way the sales letter would be written, depending on who you're writing it to. So it could be writing to the guidance counselor, and it's more of a writing to a colleague of like, look, you're into this, helping people in counseling, like me, helping people, and you're wondering how to do your job better, and here's something you can bring to your school that would really leave a legacy on that. Whereas for the principal, maybe their concerns are a little bit different. But so you would write it to the one or the other, or it may not matter that much, because in some ways this is such a specific boat, like the schools on island A, they want to be on island B. This is a boat that can take them from one island to the other, and the boat is unique enough and well known enough at this point that I think you don't need to target the marketing so precisely. But the question is always, who's already reaching the teachers? it's this hub marketing question. Any of you haven't come across my stuff on hub marketing, if you go to marketingforhippies.com/steps, step 5 is the hub marketing, and there's a ton of free resources on that. But the basic question in hub marketing is, where are they already? Where do you find them? Instead of trying to say, hey, shine the spotlight over here, you find out where the spotlight is shining and you go stand there. So, for example, the teachers' conventions, where the teachers go and speak, that's a no-brainer as like the place to be. But also, there are other people who get booked into school. So, for example, my friend Lucas Coffey has a business. It's called Music as a Weapon, or is it Rhythm? Anyways, he does drum circles, goes into schools, and it's amazing. It's team building. It's, it does beautiful work. So there are people like him, or there are storytellers, who go into schools already.
I know someone who's a storyteller, and I asked them, and they said that they have this company just books them, but that it's all more like entertainment stuff.
But that's
fine. I should look into that anyway.
Yeah, you could look into that. And so, yeah, there are sometimes companies that can just book you and get you in. That's good to figure out. And then there's also people who are not going through those companies. But let's just actually do a brainstorm in the chat below. So this is a brainstorm. Erica, so 1 second. Let's put this in the chat. So let's say brainstorm. Erica. Who else goes into schools? Oh, I sent that directly to Annie. 1 second. Okay, so who else goes into school? So drum circle facilitators is one. Storytellers is another. There may be also, leadership workshops.
Great, yoga teachers, nice.
Yeah, yoga teachers may go in. So let's just do a little brainstorm. What have you seen or maybe heard of at schools? Maybe you remember as a kid, there are also theater companies.
That's great, yeah.
That often get booked in. Sports coaches, tech companies, right, teaching coding. What else?
So I did do research with this company called Safety in Schools or something, and they go in and they do a whole thing with students and the teachers about how to keep schools safe digitally and physically. They're in the States. Actually, they're in both. They're in the States and Canada, but yeah, they have their own whole machine that they do. And
so
yeah.
let's just let people brainstorm. All of these things are the type where you could, and where do you live? Where are you based?
Well, right now I'm in Nelson, but I'll be moving to Vancouver pretty soon. And from there I plan to travel.
Okay. So one thing it's interesting because you could of course do this stuff online, which is a whole different model. And so there's going to be 2 different approaches there for online, but are you wanting to focus on live?
Yeah, I really feel more comfortable in person with this because it's really interactive. I am going to be training other facilitators online. That I will be doing.
Okay. But let's focus on so you're in Vancouver, so that's a big city. There's tons of schools there. So that would be the thing to do, is you just start asking around. You might call the guidance counselors, call principals, you might talk to people who are in the school system, and you start to map out who are the people going to schools, because then you can go to those people and say, hey, I do this thing. Is this the kind of thing you might be open to telling the schools you work with about? And they might be able to send an email to their contacts, or you could sit down with them. You could say, look, could we kind of endorse each other? Or you could do the kind of thing where it's like, hey, every school booking you'll get $50, something like that. You could have affiliate arrangement, if you will.
Yeah, I was even thinking that I might be able to find like a marketer that works on commission.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You might be able to find somebody. Heck, you could get a college kid to do this. And honestly, that's probably the thing to do, because in terms of like, I need a list of all the schools.
Right.
you could go and find that yourself. Somebody else could find it. Okay, but yeah, so this is the easiest thing to do. You find one of these people and you either have them send an email to the schools on your behalf, or to the teachers who they've worked with, who've booked them.
Yeah.
And the email might be something like, and you could pre-write this for them. It was like, hey, I just came across this woman, Erica. She does amazing work about consent. And I wasn't sure who in the school to talk with about bringing her in. So you see what I'm saying? So it's not a pitch.
Yeah.
It's, hey, here's the sales letter, go hire her. It's an open conversation of, I don't know who to talk to. The person will respond to them and say, oh, yeah, you'd want to talk to this person.
That's really smart.
Email. And yeah, so they could send out the group email and then forward all those emails to you, or you could get the list from them and you could hire a college student to send the emails on your behalf. But the emails, basically, the subject line is, John Smith sent me, whoever was that hub that you got it from. So, hey, John Smith sent me, and then in the email, it's like, hey, I was just talking with John Smith. He says you brought him in to do drum circles, which sounds wonderful. I have this thing I do on building consent and teaching this, and I don't know if it'd be a fit, and I don't even know who in the school to talk with, if we were going to do that. Any help is warmly appreciated. So it's just that kind of a thing. And then they get back to you. And this is the key in that first email. You're not wanting to close the sale.
Right, yeah.
You're wanting to open the conversation.
Yeah.
Is then they get back to you and they say, oh yeah, John Smith is great. And we just actually did drum circle with them last week. And yeah, the person you talked to is Bev, and Bev's email is this. And then you just send an email to Bev, the subject line of which is, hey, Jane Smith sent me, who was the person you were just emailing with. And you just I was talking with John Smith, connecting me with Jane, and here I am. And I don't know if this is the, here's the info, basically, here's the basics. Yeah, is this the kind of thing? And again, you could have a college student doing the first step or two of that.
Right.
You're hiring somebody to do those initial conversations, and you take it over from there. But boy, getting in front of people at the conventions, you may not need anything else. Also, there's a group in Vancouver I know of. I don't know if they're still around. Check Your Head. They do political workshops. But the first thing to do is map it out. Once you get to Vancouver, you just start to map out who's already going to schools. And also, you may start to ask around, say, because let's say it's the guidance counselors. Let's say you find out every time, it's like, okay, they're always directing me there. I promise you the guidance counselors have some kind of club or association. They have some way they stay in touch, like a newsletter, a Facebook group. I don't know what it is. Their own events. And then if you could go to that event, this will work really well.
That's fantastic advice. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Really good advice. Okay, I got to write that down. Oh, in terms of the promotional materials. So I'm always just basically writing a letter saying, here's what I do. Are you interested? I'm never sending like a pamphlet.
You could. It's just, I mean, why not? I mean, that probably for what you're doing could work. You could just send it to the school, and schools get a lot of stuff. They get swamped in this.
I bet. Yeah, I did I did get advice from a business coach, and they wanted me to say all the flashy stuff that I really wasn't comfortable with. So yeah, but I'll figure it out. Yeah.
All right. Well,
great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.